What's going on, guys? We are live, and we are the podcast that outlasted E3. Oh,
yeah.
Too soon?
E3.
Is that too soon? Oh, all right. Anyway, guys, thank you guys for being flexible and meeting us here on a Tuesday. Appreciate that very, very much. Thank you for making the switch over one day. You know what? We had to wait a little longer to get to this episode, but you know what? That only means it's 6 days till the next one. You're welcome. See, that's looking at the price. That's glass half full. Here we are.
Calculated.
Doing everyone a favor.
Yep. So you're welcome. You know, thank us in the chat, in the comments. We appreciate it. You appreciate it. We're good. I even wore a tight shirt like Buff. Like I was feeling like a little bit self-conscious from the biceps. So I had to tighten it up with the Under Armour a little bit.
Those are some bear killing arms right there.
Yeah.
He's got them ranch hands.
Get him my way. See what happens. Anyway, guys, Buff and Blue, my great friends. How are you guys doing today?
Good.
Very good. Yeah.
Very, very good.
Really? Blue, very. You got two varies on that?
I got some news. So remember when I was streaming, I think World War 3, I was like, oh, hey guys, I think I got a email from ExpressVPN. And it was true. It was legit. Now I'm officially sponsored by them. So our first official sponsor on the channel.
That's kind of a big deal. Yeah. Woohoo.
Yeah. Again, did the whole W9 tax information stuff.
Boom. All right.
Got all the assets. Now the hard part is actually putting it into the video and not making it boring. I'm sitting there with I'm sitting there on the timeline on the edit, and I'm just like, how do I put this in? How do I?
Some people do like really funny skits with them, which like those are the ones
I already have an idea, and someone might steal it. Who cares? You know, I'll see you in the comments. If I'm playing World War 3 and I pull up the tablet, it'll be like, I'll pull up the tablet to use a strike, and then the strike won't work because I'm in Japan. I'm like, oh man, if only I had a VPN, and then boom,
there you go
into the sponsor. So something like that.
That'd be sweet. Or you could just make a vid on how to use VPN to spoof the matchmaking in Warzone 2.
We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that for sure. Oh, that's perfect. Good segue.
It'd be like viral, and then malicious use of VPNs. Be great. Buff, how are you doing, man? Congrats, by the way, Blue. That's sweet, dude.
Appreciate it. That's awesome. Congrats. Yeah, I'm good. I'll be out of Twitter jail tomorrow, so that's very exciting. And
how many times have you been in Twitter jail, by the way?
A lot. It's been they gave me a week ban this time, so I think I need to start dialing it back.
How y'all doing? Walking past Twitter security. I'll see you next week.
I think I'll start drafting my tweets, and then I'll sit on them for a while before I tweet them as the new goal. So
what's wrong? What's Elon's problem? What's Elon's big deal?
Man. He doesn't like the New York attitude.
He makes the home button icon the Doge meme, and then he bans.
That threw me out.
Bans this dude, you know.
Yeah. I'm hoping the Doge that makes a Dogecoin pop. Sitting on some.
I think that's what he's trying to do. I think that's what he's trying to do.
Because he ruined it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's only right.
Oh yeah. So I'll be back on Twitter tomorrow. I'll keep it PG. I also hopefully tomorrow I'll have a depending on what's going on with season 3 of Modern Warfare, but coming up, I'll have a really good, probably potentially the best duo gameplay for DMZ out there. So it'll be solidifying me as to why I don't get invited to tournaments, because we just simply kill the whole server, and I only need one other person to do it. So piece of cake. So DMZ crushing it. The hackers can't even keep up. It's great.
Nice. Well, everyone. Yeah, I'll be watching that. I was watching you and Justin play the other day on your stream. Looks fun.
You wanted on the kick stream. Yeah, you were trying to see the nips is what you were.
Well, it was kick, so I thought we could get a little weird over there. I was trying.
I checked out kick. That's a weird site. That's a very weird site.
So here's the thing. I didn't explore it. I was like, cool, it's new. Revenue, whatever. It's just another place to get eyes on. And
I would restream. I think what Crash was saying is just dip your foot into it, just to have that extra. Because the fact that they said the whole hourly rate that you would have as well too, and I'm like, how are these people gonna make money as a business?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even stream I just do it for shits, but I mean, I enjoyed it. It was fun, but I was setting it up and it was like, is your content 18 plus content? I was like, no. Then I was like, what's going on on this web? I'm not going to explore the website. I'm just going to stream my video games and I'll stay in my lane and not worry about what else is going on.
Up there, gaming OnlyFans coming soon.
Yeah, maybe.
I tried to get into Flash the Nips, and
he did.
It was like he said, you have to tip for it, so it was like tips for Nips, and that was going to be the title of the stream. That's what's going to be the title. But no, my whole take on Kick is it's a mixed bag. I think that it's not meant to make money. I think it's forced the gambling company Stake to always have an audience to advertise their stuff to, no matter what. Because things were getting a little shaky with gambling on Twitch. They have so much money from people's bad luck, you could call it, even though it's not luck, that they need a place where they can always advertise and not have to worry about getting banned on. So they started the streaming platform, and I think it's meant to lose money for them, to be a tax write-off for their advertising budget. And I think it's just in that the 95-5 split is to get people to come over there, and it's basically an advertising platform for Stake. I think it's meant to lose money because they have so much of it.
That actually kind of makes sense, yeah.
And then they don't have to worry about their stuff getting banned. So then at the same time, it's like, do you want to stream over there? Yeah, that's fine. However, I think you have to be, if you start to get like up in the ranks and grow on Kick, I think you need to be a little bit careful because of just how it would look potentially to other brands. Having some of their top guys, like I think Aiden Ross is as stupid, like as dumb as a fence post, and I can't see how people watch him, and he's one of the faces for that. And also, having your main overlords or whatever owners being a gambling company, how does that make your own brand look? I think that's really the only downside to it that you have to think about.
Yeah.
I don't even know who Aiden Ross is. I just saw his like announcement thing and I was like, man, that guy's got a big ass head, and I don't know anything else about him.
I think it's pretty empty too. I don't understand how people watch him, and it makes me sad for the future of our country that he has a lot of young men that watch him. Because it literally makes me dumber like every second that passes. I try to watch.
You know what? When they're banning some common sense New York logic like this on Twitter, that tells you where the world's going, man.
That's right.
No one can take some sarcasm these days. That's the problem.
You must have forgot to put the little /S on there. Like, come on.
Whoops, that's what it was.
We'll have to get you the Kappa emoji.
David Elon.
Yeah.
I was gonna come out of the gate. I was gonna come out of the gate hot tomorrow and with a tweet, but I was like, it's probably like a 75% chance I get banned for it. So
rebanned.
Yeah. Well,
and you're back in. You violated.
Back for a whole 10 minutes, and then he's gone. All right.
Yeah, I'm actually in shambles right now. I'm pretty down bad.
No.
Yeah.
Can we talk about real quick how when we finally got time to play World War III together?
Actually, yeah.
And then after that, it's just
So Blue is playing, and generally I don't do this. I don't usually go into other people's stream and like, can I play with you? Like, I don't like to do that because they got.
I think I invited you actually.
Yeah, you did. You did. So I was like, man, I kind of want to play with him because I had some time on my lunch break, and he's like, let's play. I'm like, hell yeah, get into it. We'll talk a little bit about the matchmaking issues, the queuing times in World War III, I'm sure. We finally got through that. We're loading into a game, and I lose power. In Kansas, we had like 65-mile-an-hour winds Friday, like straight line.
That's
just
close to hurricane level winds.
Yeah.
Man.
And it blew down some power lines down the road from my house.
Wow.
So it like snapped the power poles off. So I didn't have power like that whole day. We didn't get it until that night, so I didn't get to play. Today, we have like 45-mile-an-hour winds, so I'm actually looking out on my barn right now and seeing my little internet antenna shaking, and I'm just hopes and prayers for the stream right now, guys. T's and P's, baby. There. Yeah, T's and P's for the stream right now. If it goes down, we might be back in a little bit. We might be back tomorrow. Who knows? So we're kind of riding on hopes and dreams here. So I had that huge problem. And then last night, I'm playing Rainbow Six Siege, and this earbud, this IEM dies. Gone. Nothing. So I tested it out, plugged this one in the other cable, and it works. This thing actually died. So right now, this is purely cosmetic. Okay? So I don't look silly with just one. This is the only one I'm getting sound in. And it happens during playing ranked Rainbow Six Siege where, maybe having some audio is kind of nice.
Yeah.
So I can only hear out of my left ear. So I just started turning my character 90 degrees and strafing through the hallways with my left ear in front, like in the game, to try to, because I had no audio in my right ear. So I get a new set of these coming tomorrow. But yeah, I'm just having some technical problems. We'll get through it together. But yeah,
Red Beard,
I'm in Kansas.
Earphones or headphones, right?
Huh?
You don't like over the head ones like me and Buff?
I used to. I switched to the in-ear monitors. I think I hear a lot better footsteps and stuff with these.
It's okay if you think you're better than us, Crash. Just say it. You don't need to sugarcoat it. Okay.
I mean,
he just doesn't want the dent in his head over.
Yeah, my head is already lumpy enough, dude. Like, no, it's good. We don't need to put any headphone dent things in there. I got a big watermelon head anyway. But yeah, so that's how it's been going for me. A little bit of a mixed bag. Some technical difficulties, lost some power, and that's the way it goes. We're gonna get through it. We will rebuild. We'll persevere. We'll get through this. And
we have the technology.
Yeah. We'll be on our way back in no time. So just keep in mind, I might say a lot. I'm listening in. Just this is kind of my bad ear anyway from all those years shooting, and I'm left-handed.
Oh no!
I kind of got the volume higher than it probably should be. I'm probably going through long-term auditory damage for you guys. So we have a good program today.
We appreciate it.
The sacrifice is real.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. The show must go on, even at half audio. So I'm sure the levels and everything I've balanced them perfectly because I can't hear shit. Okay.
Exactly.
So, I feel like we have a lot to talk about today. I feel like we really have a lot to get to, and not a lot of time to get through it. So,
crazy.
Want to run it?
Let's do it. Run it.
The first thing we were going to talk about today is there's some info starting to trickle out about Modern Warfare 2 Season 3. This is going to be Buff's area of expertise, I do feel like. But some of the things that I saw that people were most excited about was the intervention coming back. And there were some clips of a new map. It looked like a night map for 6v6. How are you feeling about the Shaytac coming back?
I'm pretty pumped for it. I mean, a lot of people were like, oh, they didn't want to see it, whatever. I always liked that gun. I thought it was a really fun gun that I wouldn't have minded seeing from the beginning. So I think the gunsmithing for it's going to be a lot of fun. And you get the carrying handle grip attachment there instead of like a typical underbarrel attachment because of the way the M200 is. So that'll be cool. I'm just curious to see, what kind of attachments they have for it. So it should definitely be a lot of fun to use. Especially, that's a big boy rifle. So some long range shooting in DMZ, I'm all for.
Do you think it'll one-shot headshot? Probably
special.
Not,
huh?
Nah. I'm curious if they'll have a specific attachment for it, because
different barrel.
Nah, I'm curious. Maybe an ammo attachment because in real life,
different magazine.
Yeah. I mean, in real life, it takes two different. It takes like the 408 Shaytac and then something else Cheyenne, which is both proprietary from Shaytac. So I'm curious if maybe they'll have one of those different types of ammo types in there that'll be specific headshot with like the longest barrel or something for a one-shot headshot. If they do it, I think it's going to be with a specific attachment combo. Yeah, there it is. Thank you in chat, Edward and Teddy. We got the 408 Shaytac and the 377 Cheyenne.
Wow.
So
there's some big boy rounds.
Yeah, and I think if like I said, if they do it, I think it's going to be like an ammo attachment with a specific barrel, most likely is how it would be done. So we'll see. I mean, there's a lot of possibilities with that weapon. So hopefully they come through.
I feel like a lot of people, myself included, have kind of been clamoring for a one-shot headshot mechanic to come back to Warzone. It doesn't need to be like the Car 98K used to be, where it handled super good and you could quick scope and one tap people. Was so fun. It was fun, but it was too strong. I think if you have something like that's a pretty slow ADS, maybe a lot of sway, and you have to hit that head, I feel like that's fairly balanced.
You need to get some kind of penalization for using that, but a chance to do the one-shot headshot for sure. Balance. It's all about balance. And then they're gonna bring something else in, and then it's gonna be all messed up again.
But it just seems like they've really gotten away from allowing any kind of one shot down in Warzone and DMZ with someone fully plated. This would be a pretty cool way to bring it back if they were going to, making it this rifle that everyone. It's kind of it's one of the great, snipers in Call of Duty history that people get excited about. That'd be a really cool way to bring it back if they did. And then there's some of the gameplay of the new map too on this video. I'll find it better.
Yeah. What is it? Paisley's Lighthouse?
That's exactly what it is.
Something like that. It looks really cool, right? I'm pumped with like the weather, right? It's raining. That's a new one. I'm excited about that.
Yeah, I wonder how the audio will be.
Yeah, I'm curious what that's going to be like. I'm trying to think back for raining maps. I think the last rain map that I can remember was in the original Modern Warfare 2. I think there was
Modern Warfare.
Yeah, but I think there was one also in Modern Warfare 2. Maybe, I don't know, maybe not. But yeah, there was the one in COD 4, the original, the raining map. So that'll be cool. There's also in this, I don't know if it's in that little clip there, Crash, but on FaZe Dirty's channel, he had more gameplay. You guys can check it out just by searching him. There's footage of a State remake. So however they're doing it, whether they're placing it somewhere on this map as a building or whatever, it's definitely a State. So that's pretty cool. And that goes to kind of some of the rumors of like some of those OG COD Modern Warfare 2 maps kind of coming back too, which is good. More content, the better, right?
Exactly, yeah. I hope we haven't seen there's not been a roadmap release, right, for 3 yet?
Not yet. I think we'll get it end of the week, probably maybe tomorrow, but definitely by the end of the week we'll get stuff.
Gotcha. Yeah, I saw that the way I understood it, they placed the State in the center of one of their newer maps. So it's like a piece of the old map, which I think is cool. That's really cool. It's not just a copy paste of the whole map. It's kind of a spot that you run into and you're like, oh shit, I remember this. But you still have to learn like a new map, and you're still learning the rest of the map. I think that's
I like that. Yeah, I like that a lot.
But hopefully there's more than just one map.
It's fresh.
I hope.
Yeah.
Also, there have been rumors of gunfight coming sometime during season 3. That's my shit.
I'm very big fan of gunfight.
I'm excited for that.
So I really hope they bring gunfight back. I had a lot of fun in Modern Warfare 2019 gunfight.
Yeah. You were a beast at that too. We played a couple times.
Yeah, it's fun, man. I like it a lot. It fits into my play style a little bit.
Absolutely.
And then what else was going on with it? I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I know there's one thing we definitely want to talk about, and sadly, I think that the update to their Ricochet anti-cheat is the thing that I'm most excited about. It's kind of sad that we're in a state of things where I'm excited about that.
And stuff like that.
Yeah, it sounds like there's a way to ban Cronus. Croni? How do you say plural? Chronoces?
Croni.
We'll go with that.
They're able to ban multiple Croni.
Oh snap!
Let me see if I can find this. Yeah.
Man, some people are about to get
it's like one of the first tweets
in DMZ after season 3. Man, be a whole different.
I hope so, man. So there's
we ran into some really bad cheaters the other day with like hardcore walls. So I know that they announced a lot of stuff with the whole Ricochet updates coming with season 3, and this is part of it. So thank God. I'm glad they're at least being transparent with what's coming.
Yeah, I hope it actually works. We've heard stuff like this, and we still run into cheaters.
Yeah.
There
cheaters
are a couple things.
Find a way. The developers are always going to find a way.
Yeah. I guess they're adding a replay investigation tool on their back end. So if somebody gets reported multiply and they have multiple times, but it sounds like unfortunately that's going to be mostly used in the upper tiers of ranked matches. So people that are getting on the leaderboard, they're probably going to take a look at those a little bit closer, which doesn't really help common folk like myself. The big one, the blockbuster news story, is the third-party hardware device detection. They talk about, and essentially they don't say it, but it's essentially talking about Croni. Users who are detected to be using third-party hardware devices to impact Modern Warfare 2 or Warzone 2 will first see a warning. I think that's kind of stupid. Ban them right away. They don't need a warning. Knowing that they're against TOS is the warning. Continued improper use of these devices may lead to additional warnings. the deployment of mitigation, account or feature suspensions, or the banning of the offending account across COD titles, PR security enforcement policy. That's something they recently added. If you get banned in one COD, they can ban you across all of them, that account. So all your games you can't access anymore. So that's a financial hit.
That's good. Yeah.
But they're going to continue to monitor it and stuff. But
what if something gets is connected, but it gets recognized as an unsupported device when it isn't Cronus? I'm curious if that is a possibility.
Yeah, it sounds like there'd be more manual review process, hopefully.
Because I have some cousins that have to use third-party hardware because they're in a wheelchair, but they are able to play using other devices. So what if somehow they would consider that unsupported device, and then they get a warning, and then they go, oh well, then now what?
I would assume the way they've done it in the past that they have a list of whitelisted software devices. Yeah, devices and softwares on their side that's on the back end that we're not privy to. Because I know there's also some streamers who are a lot of disabled gamers out there who need those things. So
yeah,
they'd be overlooking a huge portion of the community, I feel, to a certain degree by doing that. So I personally would think they're smart enough to, and I would think that they've been doing that, but I guess we'll find out next week, right?
I think they
I'm
actually
gonna get banned for having RGB in my keyboard.
I think they actually already put it out.
Oh, good. Okay, sweet.
Because there's been a screenshot of a Discord floating around. Let me pull it up here. Of somebody already getting a warning for using this stuff. Ghost of Hope tweeted this out. He's been going off about people getting banned for using Cronus. So
As
there's
in,
one.
like, is he like for it, like calling people out for it, or okay, cool.
Yeah, so he's happy. So somebody posted in a Cronus Discord, anyone getting this issue on a PS4 when connecting, unsupported device warning. It talks about using stuff like that. So
okay.
Yeah, 100%. So man, yeah, I just wish they would ban him. Maybe one warning would be good, but I get it. They probably you don't want to ever have false bans. That's like worst case scenario. So maybe they're trying to.
That's why there's a warning.
I also would not be surprised. I think that people that make Cronus have an absolute shitload of money. You can buy the things at like Best Buy and GameStop and stuff. It's like a mainstream device that you can use to spoof the game. So yeah, I bet there's a ton of them out there. I bet they have a shitload of money. So I could see them getting around this. Like I could see them issuing a firmware update for them or something to get around this eventually.
That one guy who uses like oranges, connects them versus a bunch of cables. I don't know, just like this random stuff.
Yeah,
I beat a Warzone game with a Wii steering wheel or something like that. Just.
There's that one guy that played Warzone with like a recorder, like he would play the notes and it would aim and the drum sets and all that
I
stuff.
think he did it at the COD. I think he did it at the Modern Warfare 2.
He got some good kills.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah. And then there's the girl that beat Elden Ring on the Dance Revolution pad on a dance pad.
Oh my god,
I saw that.
Jesus Christ.
Crazy. Yeah. That's pretty cool stuff. I can't even do worth a shit with a mouse and keyboard, man. I would not even have a prayer using weird stuff like that. I was trying to think, is there anything else that you can think of that they talked about? Oh, the other thing that people will be excited about is the operators, right? Alejandro and Valeria coming in.
It took them a while. Was it April 12th, right? I believe.
Yeah,
it'll be Wednesday. Yeah, so Alejandro.
That's my son's 5th birthday. Actually,
there you go. All right, happy birthday to him.
Shout out.
Yeah, Valerio and Alejandro. Probably Alex is rumored as potentially the raid operator later in the season. Other weapons, not really sure. There's a lot floating around there, so I won't even speculate because there's been so many things data mined and leaked. Who knows? So we'll find all that out for sure by the end of the
next
week.
Warzone map too is based on
that
location as well too.
Yeah, the Los Alamos from single player. That map was found in the game files with the most recent update, I believe. So I think it seems like, and also the theme for this season, keep in mind, is like more of the This is the first season.
Sicario type
deal. It's like
yeah.
well, that, and it's also the very first season so far since the game came out where the story's actually continued going in, with the launch of a new season. Usually it's, there was no story in season 1, there was no story in season 2 with the Japanese theme. Now we're getting like the Sicario Mexican theme. You're getting operators from the actual game. Hopefully, different locations, a lot of stuff here. So hopefully this means we're going to actually get content that we've talked about the past couple shows, content from that are assets that are in the game already from single player. And
which is what we've been talking about forever. See, they pay attention to the show.
They're watching the show, yeah. And Crash has the new Los Alamos map up. And I was looking at this earlier and I was like, this looks eerily similar to the layout of Verdansk, and I'm here for it.
Yeah, it does. It kind of does.
That was in the files that they saw?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Well, I think it was there a while ago because it's part of the campaign map, but I guess there was something more recently data mined for it in this latest data mine the other week. Yeah.
I get the feeling though of another desert map being a little exhausting. I still kind of,
I was gonna say that too.
It's gonna look fairly similar, but I don't care too much.
I mean,
it's gonna have its own feel.
Was it really deserty in the campaign though? Because when they're in Los Angeles,
definitely it's more
areas where it's like very lush. You had that one lone survivor.
Arid, I think you can call it, not desert.
Yeah.
So it's like a mix between greenery, shrubs, and
there was that one.
But it's the buildings, the building structure. I'm curious how that's gonna look on the map.
But
it's just a Warzone map, right?
Yeah, and they've already pulled. I mean, there's some multiplayer maps that are pulled out of there already.
But DMZ, man.
Yeah, that'd be a sick DMZ map. And I mean, also from the campaign, there's that one. I don't remember the names of the missions, guys. I haven't played it since it came out. But there's the one map or the level itself, which is based off of Lone Survivor, right? That whole encounter with Operation Red Wing. So there's a mission based off that in Los Alamos where, there's no desert area there. There's also the AC-130 mission is in that in Los Alamos. So there's a good mix there. I would really like to see it. I think a majority of the campaign, it took place there. Am I wrong for parts of it? So
I think that in the one where you were in the big ace, I don't know if it was an AC-130, but you're running the bomber. I think that was on this, like shooting down on him, like in that the map looked a little different. But yeah, the north side is a little bit more.
I didn't realize that was Operation Red Wing inspired.
Yeah,
but now it makes sense.
You're fighting downhill on that one map. When you're infantry.
Yep. So I think we've seen bits and pieces of it, but it would make it a cool thing. I don't think it will change things much. I have been one of the people. I think Warzone 2 is suffering a little player numbers wise, and I'm one that also hasn't been playing it very much. I don't know what they're doing with balancing. The mechanics feel bad, and the netcode is off. And I don't think Al Mazrah is a bad map at all. I don't think changing the map is gonna like bring a lot of players back because the map wasn't the problem in the first place, in my opinion. I think Warzone 2 has like a plethora of problems, and I think they strayed a little bit too far from Warzone 1, which I was generally excited about. But the way people play Call of Duty, some of those mechanics need to be in there that they got rid of. And there's just for me, I would like to give it a chance. I don't know if it's just me, if it's my hillbilly ass internet out here in the sticks, but I get terrible connections. Like, and tactical Brit
down and up. I'm curious.
Am I down and up?
It can't be that.
No, I'm 100 down and 40 up. So.
That's enough to, if you notice something, fine. Then it's not on your end.
Yeah. Right. But yeah, and Tactical Brit made a video about it, how he's gonna have to use like geofencing and VPNs. What VPN would you use, Blue? Ayo. But yeah, so we'd use he's gonna use that to try to get better servers, and I think they're at like 20 hertz tick rate. Let me get that right. And they just, the gunfights, man, feel like coin flips in that. So I just haven't been playing it much. I would love to give it an honest try if they fix the netcode.
Definitely netcode too, because like you have more players in the battle royale. I mean, DMZ, it's very typically don't run into any of that, which is crazy. So anyone's struggling and hating Warzone 2, give DMZ a try because it's a completely different experience.
Yeah,
No
it
one's
doesn't have
complaining
to.
on Twitter about DMZ.
It doesn't have to keep as much track of as many players, right?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I think
Yeah.
I don't know what the total count is on Mazra. It's like 22 teams of 3 at max that it can be, but you don't always have. It doesn't always put full teams in all the spawns because it kind of randomizes it because the spawns are consistent. So sometimes they like that player count could vary, but yeah, definitely a lot less to deal with for sure on the server side.
I gotcha. But yeah, I think that's it with COD coming up. We'll know more. We'll know more next week. We'll probably do a quick segment talking about the roadmap, hoping for more new original maps. I don't want like 2 or 3 remakes. It looks like there's at least one new one. I'm hoping for like 2 or 3 new ones. You know, I'm wanting original maps. That Himmel map Expo or whatever, that hotel map that they added was pretty good. It plays on S&D pretty well.
Yeah, I like that map.
So I think it's pretty good. We need more of that. We need a lot more of that. So are you guys ready to move on?
Let's do it.
We're gonna have to have a talk at some point about the longevity and replayability of extraction modes, but I feel like that could go on for a little while, so maybe not today.
Yeah, that's a whole episode for itself.
Yeah, exactly.
You already got talking points I'm thinking about right now.
Yeah, I'm seeing flaws in games. I've been okay, sorry, stopping. Shut up. I'm shutting up. The next thing we're going to talk about, in spite of what I'm trying, my brain's going, is we're going to talk about some indie updates to Insurgency and World War III. A lot of good content coming to some indie games that I wasn't really expecting, so it was kind of a treat. I was kind of lulled into like a Battlefield S&D Rainbow Six rotation with my games that I've been playing throughout the week, and I think World War III at least has worked its way in there. I did check out the new Insurgency map, just had a look around on a game. I get destroyed in that game because I've kind of been out of it and don't understand the maps, and people are really good at it. But I did go in and check out the map, and it looks really cool. So there's a lot of good content. Blue, do you want to talk about your World War III experiences thus far? You're in it.
We're starting off World War III.
Do you want to?
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't matter for me because how long are we gonna be here?
It's up to you.
Balls in your court, Blue.
I would definitely say, as I bring up the game on my camera, while people, I don't know why. Oh shit! Where do I start? People thought the game would have a resurgence of players around this time, and without the servers being worked on properly, that wasn't going to happen. It's basically all the content that they added, which I will say, I guess, someone in the comments was saying it's more than Modern Warfare, which is, interesting to say, but all the underlying issues don't make up for all the new content, specifically the server issues. That's the biggest issue with World War III right now, is getting connected to regions that you're not even close to. Because clearly it's not just it's happening to, if you like go into a Singapore map and you look at the scoreboard, you see everyone except maybe one squad or 3 people that have green ping. Everyone has red and yellow, so it's messing up everyone's experience, especially for new players who are coming in. And it might be a bit better around like 10 o'clock Eastern, I've noticed, especially when at night the game completely dies off. But people aren't playing at 10 o'clock in the morning on Wednesday or Tuesday. You know, they're playing when they get home, 6, 7, whatever. They get off of school, work, whatever. So when they finally get home, they're just getting dead servers, as well as like the matchmaking itself dies off very fast. So you'll be sitting in a lobby waiting for it to load up, only for then that lobby to just switch, and all of a sudden you're in a whole different game with a lower player count and just restarting the timer over and over again until you get an error code. So I mean, like pretty much most of the time sitting in World War III is sitting in a lobby waiting to hopefully get into a game, and it might not even be the map or the game mode that you want to play. So it's kind of just like, at this point, I'll take what I can get for content, but I'm not gonna sit here and grind out a battle pass. I'm not gonna sit here. I'll be honest, I did buy the battle pass just to get into the weapons and the blueprints and showcase them on the channel. But for someone who just wants to just grind it out, it's going to be very hard for them to do that without, especially they got rid of the boosters in this battle pass. Like in the first one, you can like earn XP boosters, and this one you can't. So it's going to be even longer. And even if you did use a booster for like an hour or 2 hours, 30 minutes of it is sitting in the lobby waiting. So it'll be gone anyways.
Jeez.
So, but again, that's like literally the number one main issue is the servers, because everything else about the game, because when it works, it's amazing. Like the gun battles feel great. People think 20v20 is too small. I think for the map size and for the stuff that happens, it's about right. It feels good. There's constant. I feel like there's, especially on the new Tokyo map, dude, constant action. It's a beautiful looking map. The open area in the middle, like where the crosswalk and Shibuya is a bit, maybe I think add a little bit more cover, but other than that, like the alleyways, the neon lights, the tight, like I say, the tight alleyways, the rooftop access, the windows, like all of that feels really good when you get a decent server. And the new game mode too as well, Fubar, that came out. And we also got a surprise, I would say a surprise game mode that made a comeback, which was Team Deathmatch Domination. I was excited for that. I think that's a better version of Team Deathmatch. And they fixed the spawns, so no more spawn camping. You can't get spawn camp. The spawns are very well put out there, so they definitely listened to feedback. They definitely implemented as much as they can. I think the one thing that's holding them back to this day is the MWII game servers that they're utilizing. Now, they did mention, and I forgot where exactly, but I did read that they will be eventually switching back to Steam. It's just, it takes a lot of work to switch from the MWII game servers and the launcher and then bring it over to Steam. So that will be eventually, but again, like how long are people going to wait? I'm surprised there were people still playing and talking about the game, and heck, even on IGN when they posted the gameplay overview trailer, got over 100,000 views. Great like to dislike ratio, like maybe like a 10% like, and
that just shows that,
or sorry, 10% dislike.
That just shows how hungry people are for a game like this. Like
exactly.
This is the Battlefield recipe that we were trying to get Battlefield to follow for the 5 years that they've been trying to get this game to work. This game is the ultimate blue balls. I'm telling you, man. Because like it looks so good. The new maps are amazing. I know you're familiar with Machina, the weapons artist. Like he does an insane job. Like the new weapons and it's just so good. Like everything content wise was awesome on this. I got in there to play a few matches finally. It took me forever though. Same. You know what fixes a lot of those problems? I'm going to tell you. It's called the fucking server browser. Because when this game was kind of dying the first time in 2018, and there were just a couple hundred people playing it, you could look at the server browser and say, hey, this isn't exactly the game mode or the map I wanted to play, but I know the ping and I know that there's people in here and I can click and just get in. So when there's not very many people, it used to have one back in the day, and you could find.
I think it's because when they got MWII games, they were like, you're using our servers if you want this kind of money. Yeah. So that was the bad part. That will definitely fix so much is the server browser. Now, the one news that was said on my stream by Machina was, and he did say that he doesn't know the repercussions of him saying this, but he said it live on stream. And I do have to say, starting off as well too, I've gotten a lot of hit back as well from other people in DMs and even my Discord from one dude, that me using that information to make a video on was bad for me. And I think that's not on my part. That's not on my head. No, I'm just covering what was put out there. It's like a leak for the game.
On your stream.
It's good.
On my stream. He said it live. So clearly, if anything were to happen to him, it's on him. As much as I love Machina, I love playing with him. In fact, I'm trying to get to play Star Citizen with him, but it's I'm not using that for content. Clearly, I can do other things to find content, but it
was your stream.
Exactly. And it's something that we needed to hear.
Yeah.
Especially for play, because like, to be honest, if I didn't know that was not coming, or that if I didn't know that was going to be a thing, I probably wouldn't be playing right now.
Well, I don't know. I'm worried that it already kind of has a region setting, because when it goes through the matchmaking, it'll matchmake, and then if it doesn't, it says like expanding search parameters or maps and modes. And that's when I think
because I will basically be able to lock it off completely. I think that's the case. I think that'll be the switch of just choosing where you want to go. But then you also got to think about splitting the player base even more so, because you got people who are new to the game that are trying to just get into Tarkov, but I'm like specifically trying to get into Fubar. And then if I go Fubar US East only, like who knows how many, especially if it's like only 600 people playing, who knows what that'll be at that point. So
yeah, it took me probably an hour to get in a match, at least to get in a match on the new maps there. And they didn't even make it like a Operation Sunstorm playlist with like the new maps and modes. Like everybody would have hit that. Like, just they should have, when they have a new operation come out, I wish they would do a featured playlist. Like in Rainbow they call it like a discovery playlist, and you can check out the new content. So it would be Fubar, TDM, Domination, and all the maps on all the modes on the 2 new maps, and you could get into that.
I wish that was a thing. Yeah, because again, I love Fubar. The one thing I have my issues about Fubar too is the downed animation. So they brought in a revive system that I originally thought from the trailers that if someone goes down and they're crawling away and you shoot them in the head, they're gone. They're dead. They can't get picked up. Turns out that's not the case. The player can still be picked up. They just can only look left and right. Which I think should be taken out. Or even if you shoot them like 6 times on the ground when they're dead, you should be able to kill them. They shouldn't like have to think about giving up. I just feel like because then I don't know who goes down exactly. I don't know if I killed them or not. I know a lot of people that have issues with that. So I think what they need to implement is if they go down and then if I shoot them back in the head again, they're dead.
Yeah. So for me, this game has potential. We'll keep an eye on it. Man, it's just been a case of blue ball since 2018. Everybody wants this game. Everybody wants a game like this, and they just can't get a few of the fundamentals down. And it's such a disappointment because we all want it to work.
The main question I've asked a lot of people in different Discords and on my channel, I'm actually starting a questionnaire like list to see why, basically just any questions they want to ask for War 3. I'm just going to go down the list and answer them because I feel like I need to do that. And then I ask people what makes you keep coming back to this game, especially nowadays. And especially for people who have been playing since 2018, because I know plenty of people who have given up completely on the game, who will never cover it again, who will never dare to open up the launcher. Like, why do they keep coming back? And they're craving something like this. Battlefield 2042 was such a disappointment.
So was 5.
Battlefield 5 in the beginning was such a disappointment. So you had 2 chances to basically hop on that train, and then it failed. So but we still don't have anything to carry us over into the next Battlefield right now. And World War 3 I feel like is going to be that game eventually, but we also still have 2 major updates in September. Also in July, I think, no, June and September. And then September is when the HVT game mode comes in. But until they fix the servers, you're just putting a band-aid on
Yeah, they keep coming out with content, but you can't play it. So what's the point? I have a question that I want you and Buff to both answer. I'll try to phrase it not stupid. How long is too long to where you won't forgive a game anymore? Because I feel like they're coming out with content. It's getting better. Like I said, I think by September, it's going to be in a pretty content-wise, it's going to be in a decent spot finally. But how long is too long where you say, you know what, you're getting there, but man, it took so long. Like with kind of promises and unplayable for years, and some people bought the game and then free to like. How long is too long to where you won't forgive them anymore and come back? Like that's my question to you guys.
You go Buff because.
I mean, if we're talking specifically World War III, like everything Blue just laid out has been basically the story of the game since launch. That being said, that game is like the perfect game if it is running as we would all expect it to. It's just a matter of getting it there. So, I mean, if 5 years down the road, if this game is flawless, I'm all over it. If it's flawless and there's players, I'm there for it because this is a game I've always really loved. It's just a matter of getting it to that spot where you're able to play it. It's not there yet. It hasn't been there. Has a long ways to go. The server issues are one thing, but yeah, for a game like this, infinitely. Other games, it really depends on what my interest level is. This game just happens to be the perfect genre, setting, everything. The gunsmithing is just absurd. So this is a game, yeah. I mean, 2030, it's perfect, fully released out of beta. I'm there for it. I'm buying it.
All right. All right. Buff's willing to bend the principles a little bit to get what he wants. All right.
Yeah. I would say again, it's the devs are continuously working on it. Yeah, the content that is continuously being pushed out for it. I mean, if people can go back and play Battlefield 4, Battlefield 3 to this day, over 10 years later, I feel like World War 3 could do the same. Now I still think, and I've said it I think before here, that it'll have like a Phoenix rising out the ashes moment if they get the servers working. That's really the only thing is the servers, because all the little things like, oh, this gun sounds weird, oh, I don't like the way this vehicle sounds, I don't like the way this map layout is, that can all be fixed relatively quick. In fact, they have as well too. They like updated all the vehicle sounds. But and yeah, spawns, they fixed spawns very quickly. So they're fixing the game slowly but surely.
Looks so good
it's still a small team as well. Like, it's not EA working on this game. It's just a couple devs working with what they got right now. So I mean, and I've talked to them before. I've still in a group chat. Eventually I'll do an interview with the creative director himself. I'm curious what their response will be about all the feedback that they're getting. I know it'll probably be very corporate response. We're working on it, just in the future, this and that, whatever. No, I can't give a specific time frame, stuff like that. But I think I will bend the rules a little bit for this game, only because there's no other game out right now.
It looks like the perfect game. Like
it's like a good mix between Battlefield and Call of Duty, because I can run around and do some like sick crouch shots.
And it's a little bit more hardcore too, with like the friendly fire and the revive stuff.
Time to kill, the revive system. And then when they do bring in an HVT game mode, I feel like you Crash especially is gonna hop on that, because now it's super objective based, smaller squads. I don't know what the map layout's gonna be, but it's gonna be
just
a little bit more like in a ranked game mode, I would say.
And just the way the maps look, man, like there's color to them, but they're war torn. Like war is going on here. But it looks like it just happened like maybe a week ago. Like everyday life was going on here. People were walking the streets, going to work.
That's a big thing I've said before.
It just looks like so good.
Yeah, because like what was it like when it came to like Battlefield 2042? Like those maps just look so plain. No story to it. It wasn't immersive. Whereas, it feels like in World War III, literally World War III just broke out in Berlin and Warsaw and Smolensk, and it feels like there's a story that's happening. Like little details of like in Smolensk, if you're looking at a table, like they were showcasing Korea before Korea even came out. So like little things like that.
And with the customization to the ops and the weapons too, it's so easy to get immersed in the game. Like it's when you get the hardest part of getting immersed in the game is finding a fucking match. Like That's
Yeah.
like the biggest problem. After that, it's all.
And once you're in, Tokyo is definitely the coolest looking map for sure.
Yeah,
really
Shibuya.
Nice.
I was pleasantly surprised because I was playing a TDM on Shibuya because that was like the only one I could get into. And the first round was daylight, and I was super surprised. In round 2, it was nighttime. Like that was so cool. Like to switch it up, same map, same players, but it switched
there
to
were
night.
nighttime maps for TAC Ops and Fubar, the bigger versions of the map, especially for like the Gobi Desert map. You know, they had like you'll spawn in first round, just a desert temple. Second round, sandstorm comes blowing in. You know, but it's not like Gulf of Oman sandstorm where you can't see 5 feet in front of you, but it's viewable for sure.
So this is. I feel like we should probably move on and try to get done with everything in time. We talked quite a bit about it, but I will say,
keep an eye
guys,
on it.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on it. This is like day 12,000 of us asking to fix your servers. So there we go, and then we'll be doing good. Cover, and thank you. Have a nice day. So we'll talk about Insurgency just a little bit, unless you guys have a lot more to add than I do. I don't have much. I hopped in to check out the new content just because I wanted to cover it a little bit because I appreciate them still updating this game, keeping it fresh, keeping it going. I'm a little bit hopeful for them to see what they're doing next. But the last light map and the new weapons, the MDR and stuff look really good. Still a great game, Insurgency. And again, this is one of the few hardcore ones that you can play on console, not just PC. And the defusal mode, I got into it a little bit because I thought that's something that was up my alley, and it's a little bit like a smaller scale rush mode. So yeah, it's just good. Check it out if you guys have it. Operation Accolade, it's a free update. The new map is super cool, and I'm apologizing to the Insurgency fans. I don't have a ton more to add because I don't play it that often because you guys are too good. It's your fault. It's your fault.
I'm just waiting till the second one. Like at this point,
yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of hype around their next one because they did a good job with this one.
Yeah, they did a great job.
Yeah.
The update's really good. You had the Desert Tech MDR is awesome. The SIG 552 is also really, really good. Probably one of the better weapons in the entire game. I think it's only a 3-point weapon, whereas the MDR is a 5 or a 6-point weapon. Both have 20 round mags at base. You can upgrade to 30. The new map is really, really good. I need to get in and play it more.
Looks pretty, man.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be, a blast to play on with a team. So really solid update. I'm glad they're still supporting it, but I agree. Yeah, bring on. I'm ready for the next one coming up soon. But I'm really glad they're still supporting it. So they're obviously, I think, already working on. They're definitely working on whatever's next because the updates have been more and more staggered and a little bit less and less. So I'm glad to see they're updating, and I'm glad to see they're probably obviously shifting a lot of their resources to the next game.
Yeah, they did a lot of bug fixes and little gameplay changes in that too. So we talked about it last week. The one thing I was gonna add, we didn't say in the Call of Duty talk. We talked about the Fortnite creative stuff. I guess we should do this in quick shots, but I'm thinking about it now. Sorry. They're actually DMCAing people that are building stuff in Call of Duty content in Fortnite creative. So if the people that built the Rust in those videos, Activision is actually DMCA and taking them down for copyright infringement for building.
They make it look better.
In Fortnite creative. It's like, oh shit, it looks better than our game. Shut it down.
Yeah. Whoops.
I just came across that today. So the next thing I want to talk about, it's pretty interesting. I didn't even know this was happening. Friend of the program. Rockhound Black, shout out to him. He covers everything Embark Studios. So we talked about them quite a bit on here, as it is a lot of old Battlefield devs who've gone over there to check it out. He actually made a video where one of the Embark developers did a GDC talk at the Game Developers Conference and showed off some new unseen images of the Arc Raiders game, which is the third-person cooperative and allegedly going to be turning multiplayer shooter from Embark Studios that looks really awesome. So we're gonna tinfoil hat it here just a little bit and talk about some of the stuff that he showed. The shitty production team did not make that, and they did not pull up the video beforehand. So there's a lot of things falling through the cracks.
I'll leave it in the production notes for next episode.
Let him know. That's one thing that we constantly need notes on. Is production team has to step it up. The production team is like the same level as the World War III servers right now. So I'm still trying to find it. Here we go. And I special shout out to Rockhound Black. I DM'd him to make sure we could go through his video just a little bit on here and take a look at some of the stuff, and he was kind enough to let us do that. So his video that we're going to look at is in the description or the show notes if you're doing the podcast thing. Anywhere you want to check it out, please follow him if you're interested in Embark Studios at all, because he covers it so well, so thorough.
Yeah, he does a great job.
And check his stuff out. One of the things that I thought was the most interesting about this whole thing with the Arc Raiders images and stuff is the map. He showed an image of the map. Got into some of the weeds. So if you go to Rockhound's video, watch that. Still want to get into it even farther. He has links to the GDC talks themselves in his notes and his video description. So you can go down the rabbit hole if you're super interested in this game. But here is a view of allegedly the map, and I'm not sure if there's more maps. I'm not sure if this is it, but it looks massive with the volcano. Again, this might be just a little bit misleading. The salt flats and stuff is where there's a lot of stuff from the trailers occur. We've seen some of that. Some of these images were actually wetlands, like the water and stuff looked really cool. I'll play the video in a little bit, and you can just go through and see some of the images. But I don't know about you guys. This looks really battle royale. Where can people
see this if they're only listening audio wise, by the way?
Yeah, well, come over to YouTube then, I don't know what to tell you.
There's your solution.
I figured it out. I'm sorry. So if you're driving around, it's a cool looking map. If you're listening to it in your car, imagine, put it together in your head. Don't wreck. Focus on the road first. Be safe out there. Buckle up first thing. What are you doing? Just imagine a really cool desert looking map with a lot of stuff on it. That's the best way I can describe it. I think I nailed it.
Nice.
I nailed it. But yeah, I don't know. It looks really battle royale to me. And of course, tinfoil hat gets my brain spinning. What do they mean? Rockhound says that they moved back on it to put the finals is coming out first. They moved this one back allegedly to work on multiplayer. It was not originally going to be a multiplayer. They're adding that. So multiplayer on the map this big makes me think Extraction or BR, right? Am I
right?
Am I off?
Some kind of objective for sure.
Yeah.
Of one of those two. Yeah.
So he actually compares the game map to the real world area, and it is pretty much it. Called Tenerife. Is the region.
Oh wow.
It's a large
really?
Yeah, it's a large volcano with the Rust Belt Ridge in the map, and I mean, you can tell, like, I'm telling you, his videos are sweet. So yeah, you get info into that, and then he goes around and he matches up some of the key art. You can see some of the images, but where he goes into it, he finds some of the concept art and then shows it on the maps. So you can see some of the concept art here, how it looks. The maps. I'm sorry, podcast listener. There's just one of them, so we only got to talk to one of them. I'm sorry that you can't see this because the map is stunning. Some of the really things good. You can see.
Wow! Oh my God, that looks amazing,
dude. It looks so good. Unreal 5, but again, Battlefield developers from the glory days of Battlefield working on this game. You can see it right here. He made the note in his video of a road. So it kind of makes you wonder about vehicles. I kind of feel like on a map this massive, vehicles would be kind of nice. And then he did mention that some of these vehicles were also noted, like Star Wars type speeder looking things were noted in there as well. And then this is just
this is getting my sci-fi nerd excited.
Yeah, these are some of the other shots. You can see this massive dam for where this looks like an empty lake bed. And there's some this shot is just stunning, man. On the backside of it, you see the trees and the wetlands and stuff. I'll wait for it to update with you guys, but the podcast listeners gotta be pissed.
Yeah.
The podcast listeners are so sad right now. But these are all new images.
What channel can they see it on though? You said is this Blackouts stuff?
Rockhound Black.
Rockhound Black. Okay. Yeah.
And the link is in the description. Check out his video if you're interested in this. It's worth a look because the map will get you, the graphics in the map and stuff will get you excited for this game. 100%. I think there's going to be like an operating base, it looks like, and there's some communication towers that he talks about, and some night looking stuff too. So you got to think weather. Some more images, and he goes through and just matches all this stuff up. So you see, he gave a name for this. My boomer brain didn't remember, and I live in Kansas, so I don't know what mountains are like. But there's clouds that form at the top of mountains. They have some of that in there, so it kind of makes you wonder about weather. Can't remember what the name of those kinds of clouds are, so you can tell me how stupid I am in the comments. I look forward to reading them. Here's a look at some of the foliage. So it's a pretty diverse map. You know, you've seen the desert stuff, and then you have wetlands that look like this. And this makes me like looking at the water and how cool it looks.
That's my Florida man location right there.
The Everglades going on right here. I see blue in an airboat going across there looking for gators. But yeah, it just makes me think of the Unreal demo where they were building the water and stuff. And I can just picture them putting this together. It's so cool. It looks amazing, dude. So we're excited about this. Don't know much other than that. It's just some new, never before seen images that Rockhound found. So super thanks to him for letting us check these out, because they kind of get me excited for this game. Again, and I'm really interested to see how they're doing multiplayer.
Night version?
Yeah, there's nighttime, so you kind of think, day-night cycles, and then you kind of think dynamic weather.
How long are you gonna be out there? Are you gonna explore those cycles change?
It's crazy,
man.
Crazy. I hope it looks.
Can't wait, man.
It looks good. I hope it looks as good as the concept art in the game.
I hope it's that, and then it plays as well as it looks.
Yeah, it should be smooth. It should be smooth knowing the folks that are working on it. Because I thought the finals played pretty smooth. And then
but I'm just like, that's a smaller, multiplayer game. I'm curious how much would be on here.
Yeah, there's some other like smaller shots of stuff, but yeah, it's such a cool vibe. It's such a cool vibe for a game.
Yeah, wallpaper quality, Strigan says. Definitely.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, it is for sure. But yeah, so not a ton to react to there because we don't have any like information other than the visuals. That is the worst. We could get an award for the worst podcast segment ever for that one. Just talking about pictures. It
just looks pretty.
It looks cool. I guess my final thought on it is it looks really unique. Maybe the gameplay loop is not what the setting is for sure. It's almost like an 80s futuristic. It's like weird. It's like retro, but it's future.
Yeah.
It's cool.
It's like a different. Oh God, there's a word for it. Not
alternate
dystopian, but like alternate version for sure of the 80s, which I'm all for. I'm always a big fan of that type of visuals and stuff like that. Oh yeah, I'm excited.
So we'll keep an eye on it. It has potential. This is the worst show ever. This is the worst show ever.
Shirt idea, hat idea.
Yeah, that's it. If we ever need merch, that's it. We got it unlocked.
There it is.
Are you guys ready for some quick shots? All right. Let's just. The only one that I can remember without looking at my list right now is what Blue said. There was some new 6 days of Fallujah gameplay that was posted.
Buff said that. Yeah.
He said
but
it.
I'm also very excited for it as well too.
I had it in my head to talk about too. I had it on my list already. So
ready for the procedural generation.
Yeah.
Yeah. The gameplay looks amazing. I'm really excited for this.
I'm just curious how that's gonna run every time. I mean, I know because it's not just every building changes, every room, every prop. inside that building. That's gonna the CQB aspect of the game is gonna be amazing. I can't wait to get in with a team and just door to door.
Yeah. So exactly. I mean, it's very real world. Obviously, it's meant to be that way, and just like the way they're breaching here. And if you guys look this up on YouTube, you'll hear kind of like the team communications too. Really cool, and I think it looks beautiful. The first person animations with like the weapon, looking over top of the ACOG like that. I just think it looks really, really clean.
So this is PvE, right? Only.
At least what we're seeing here. Yeah, I'm not sure if there's going to be a PvP component.
I don't think there's any plans currently right now.
I kind of think this could be the first PvE game that I get into, because that was my thing. Like, you play Ready or Not and you go through the missions, and, you try to get your best score and do the best you can, do a perfect run, and you do that, and it's kind of like, what else? Well, with this one where it's different every single time, I mean, come on, that's it.
Yeah.
Like,
if keeps you on your feet.
If it's different every single time and it's a new puzzle to crack every single time you play it, I mean, that's a huge problem solved for me for PvE games.
Yeah, and you can see some of the gameplay like components here, just like the flashlights. Obviously there's CQ, and he's got an ACOG, so can't look through the ACOG. The flashlight, turn it on and off. Just the environments, I think, look beautiful. You have like some really interesting particle effects. This is going to be a lot of fun, and exactly. I mean, if anyone out there is like a fan of Sandstorm too, the PvE component there, I mean, this is going to be just like that, but probably even more hardcore. And I'm obsessed with that mode. So this is going to be a game that I'm very excited for. And like you said, it's procedural generation. It's going to switch up. You're going to get something new every time, which is going to be awesome.
So cool.
I'm just glad it's finally coming out after it getting freaking canceled the last time, and I applaud Victoria for actually just sticking to their guns, not caving in,
realizing this game has a lot of potential. I think it's gonna sell very well
too. It will. That's also another thing of like the tactical FPS genre. How much more innovative can we get at this point? I mean, I've been saying that since like 2003 at this point. So like, it just every time, I say that, like, oh, video games can't get more real, and then shit like this comes out. It's I mean, look, I'm on the screen, like climbing up the vines and stuff like that, like all that.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Look, so yeah, it's just the one thing I'm worried about, if I had to have a worry, is the longevity of this game. Like, okay, you played Fallujah, you cleared it a few times. Now what? You can't put in cosmetics. You can't bring in, I feel like you couldn't bring that into, especially this kind of game. So,
and I don't know how expansions would work either, because it's Fallujah.
Exactly.
So like,
you move it out. Well, are they still sticking with that title, or is it just called 6 days? Because they could just bring in other conflict zones.
I think it's gonna stay Fallujah, because that's like a huge part of the game.
Fallujah.
Like,
they could have like different DLCs as like, and just name it differently.
Yeah, but
maybe
it'll be cool to see how the procedural generated stuff holds up and adds to replayability. But I could see it getting. I hope it's not like a cool thing. Like, that's kind of how Ready or Not is to me. It's a super cool game. Like, it's so immersive and cool, but it's like, it's not something I can grind and just keep playing. Like it's something I'm like.
Too, if modding will come to the game.
But do you need modding with procedurally generated stuff?
No, you don't. But I mean, you look at Ready or Not as well too. And that has a pretty decent modding scene for maps and weapons and operators and stuff like that. So
yeah, with modding, you could turn this into like, this is Fallujah. You could turn it into the later years of the war.
Or like if they opened up the SDK to people specifically for that, and then to be able to use their procedural generation and engine and stuff like that, I feel like that could be interesting. Then all of a sudden you're changing the insurgents to different factions, and you're turning the Marines into modernized infantry almost. So maybe, I don't know. I don't think they might have said that in the past, that they don't plan on it right now, but maybe it's not off the table, but again, yeah, it might not need it, but it's just the longevity is what I'm really worried about, because
Me too.
it's like this. It's just the cycle of tactical FPS games. I think Karma Cut put a photo of like, tactical FPS comes out, does something new, dies off, new tactical FPS comes out. It's just like it keeps going back out over and over and over again. So,
yep. I will say this: my asshole take on this game. I'll just come out with it. I don't think it's going to have a lot of long replayability either, and it might die off. But I'm hoping it proves like the efficacy of procedurally generated maps, and I hope it comes to a bigger mainstream title, like Battlefield or like a Rainbow Six game.
Paced gameplay. Yeah.
But I just hope I hope it's like a proof of concept for procedurally generated maps to come to other multiplayer games. Like maybe like a new Rainbow Six game that's like multiplayer that has procedurally generated stuff, or maybe like one of the ways to fix the lack of AAA content that we've seen. Like I could see this as a fix for that.
Make the maps procedurally generated, or the props inside. So now upstairs level A is now it's not the same layout anymore, so you can't just repeat the same angle.
Yeah, so if you do have a game like this with maybe insurgency style gunplay, that's like S&D bomb mode, but you have to go find the bomb every time. Like it's not in the same place ever.
Yeah. Also, so I'm curious what the objective is going to be as well. So now that you brought that up, like, is it just going in, clearing out the insurgents, or are you looking for someone in the deck of cards? Does it turn into shoot no shoot scenarios? I think I saw earlier when he was shooting at someone, I think one of them like tried to put their hand up, but I mean he was already like mid round going out the barrel, so screw that.
Can't
guy
put it back in once it's out.
Yeah. So like I'm curious, objective wise, like they do bring in different game modes. They do bring a bomb game mode, HVT game mode, search and rescue, that could bring a little bit more replayability as well too.
Yep. So that's an interesting game. I'm most excited to see how the procedurally generated stuff works, and I hope it makes its way to other games to kind of solve a problem.
Same.
I'm pumped.
Okay. The next quick shot that I wanted to talk about.
Quick shot.
Woohoo. Yeah. Was a couple of quick things about Tarkov. I think Tarkov has been suffering pretty bad this wipe from some different things. The big cheater drama and stuff like that. And I feel like they're kind of taking some L's lately. And another one happened last week. The escape from Tarkov launcher. Did you guys see this? It got hacked.
I didn't see that actually.
I didn't see
Dude,
that.
it was sketchy as shit. So a lot of people were scrambling for a little bit. The escape from Tarkov, I was trying to, that's a terrible, terrible image. The escape from Tarkov launcher got hacked. So the actual image was, so on the launcher itself, if you guys don't know, Tarkov has its own launcher. And there's a place where they post important notices when there's going to be maintenance or downtimes or stuff. Well, what happened is a cheat organization hacked that, and they put an image up that said hack by, and then it showed the HTTP address for their website for their cheats and the forum, their cheat forum. So the cheaters actually hacked BSG's launcher and put a message promoting their cheat site right on the top of the launcher.
God damn.
So then people were incredibly sketched out that they had control of the launcher so they could put ransomware and spyware and install files on people's computers if they hit the update, if they launched the game, that they could do stuff. So it was like, I uninstalled that shit so fucking fast. Like I uninstalled Tarkov and everything, like got it off my computer because I was sketched out when I saw this on Twitter.
Yeah, I'm glad I haven't installed in a bit.
Yeah.
Same.
So BSG has come back and said that it's all fine and they didn't get anything. They just did that. They nipped it in the bud quick is what they said. So I don't know. Supposedly, allegedly, there has been no leaked information. They didn't get anybody's payment methods or anything like that. So they say. But still, this did happen, dude. It was so sketchy.
thing after thing after thing just keeps
for Tarkov, man.
Tarkov and BSG. Just, I mean, I'll be honest, I'm a bit salty when it comes to BSG. I know a lot of people that have gotten banned, false bans, and
I do too.
There's still hackers running amok. So, man, they fucking deserve it. Like, BSG has done some just really dumb stuff.
They've made some really questionable decisions, especially when it comes to hackers, where we talked about that Ringard drama where the guy sent the clip and they instantly banned him and didn't even look into it. So it was a false ban.
Yeah. And especially people that have done that and supported the game by buying multiple copies for their friends, and then their account gets banned. Just screw them, dude. At this point, like I really feel like, and then going DMCA claiming other creators promoting the modded version of the game for a single player. Like, come on.
Yeah, and we had those whole
talk about it without getting it, and just, so I know what they,
Yeah, and then we had that episode with Art talking about how they handled him and DMCA'd his stuff.
Yeah,
with the filters and everything. So yeah, they do questionable things. But this sucks. This sucks for the players too. It's very scary for even the players.
It is though. Yeah, and it's because then when you play the game, like there's no other game like it.
Yeah, and that's another thing.
Right, yeah.
That's a strong parallel with World War III because there's no other game like it, and people want a game like this to succeed. So how many chances do you give them? It's the same question. Like, how many chances do these games get before you're like, nah, it ain't it ain't gonna do it? So I don't know.
I feel like we need to bring Big Fry for that question.
That's a good question.
Tarkov's just been down. Tarkov's just been down. Like World War III, at least, like is there doing it. I feel like there's a difference there because like Tarkov right now just seems to be alienating its community so bad with everything, and then it's like, our launcher got hacked.
Caveating off of that, like World War III also is having a cheater issue as well. And I think Tarkov and World War III need to take the same advice and bring in some kind of replay report in-game report system.
Blue, please, you know some of the devs. Please tell them about AnyBrain AI anti-cheat. Please.
I'm pretty sure they've already. I feel like there's no way they don't know about it, but I will definitely,
dude. Because
I can mention, but I feel like my every time I talk to any dev, it's just like it falls on false ears. Like, all right, we heard you. Yeah.
I'm sure they're just.
I know they listen to feedback, but I mean both games could benefit from that, especially Tarkov.
Oh yeah, Tarkov would. And I feel like that AI AnyBrain anti-cheat would shit on Tarkov cheaters because I feel like it could really detect them looking at loot. It could detect them, through walls and stuff, looking at players through. I feel like it would own, and it would be able to pick up like recoil control stuff, scripts and things like that. Like, I think it would kill it in Tarkov. But I just want to see some more mainstream titles.
Ways to hack and it's not worth and Tarkov.
And reasons to do it with the RMTs. People can actually make money from cheating. That's why it's so bad.
Exactly.
So I just want to see. I want to see that AI anti-cheat work. I want it to be in a game that I know it's in and see how it feels. Like I just want to see it do its thing. Because
it needs to be out there. We need to get the data in order to see the results after.
So a tiny bit of a bright spot. This is a 2-part quick shot. This is a compound shot. This is what I call a double tap. Okay. There's a little bit of a bright side for Tarkov of news coming up. So on Friday, I believe that's April 7th, there is going to be a Tarkov TV live where they're going to talk about ongoing work and future plans. Now, is this a Band-Aid? Do they still have problems? Are they still going to have continued problems? Yes. But the thing that got me interested in it, and I don't know if this is a good or bad thing that I'm excited about it. Dimitri, I'm not even going to try your last name, pal. He retweeted it and said, wait for it. Now, he's the PR director for Battlestate, and he has been doing the one tweeting everything about Tarkov Arena. So this really makes me think that Friday we're going to hear some stuff about Tarkov Arena. And I will be checking that out. I will
definitely get into Tarkov Arena. I think that's the better way to play Tarkov right now. Because then there's less of a reason to cheat in Tarkov Arena. There's no loot to gain. Just games to win. So I've been asked that question.
I could see him cheating for ranked. in ranked, but we'll just have to see how it plays. I'm just excited to see how it works out and what kind of content they're gonna have. And this might tell us this might tell us how we get our hands on it. This is more up my speed anyway than playing Tarkov. I like competitive, ranked type stuff anyway.
I like just having the time to play. I don't have the time to play regular Tarkov.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm probably gonna watch that over because it happens over my lunch break. So I'm probably gonna try to watch that over my lunch break and then rip a video when they talk about Arena, and try to talk about it a little bit.
Smart.
Because I'm excited about that too. So that's the thing I saw that got me borderline excited about hearing what's coming to Tarkov. I know a lot of those are just kind of lip service things. They talk about we're working on cheaters, we're working on this, we're gonna add this, and then it's a long ways for it to come. And then I think the last I hit the wrong button.
Come on, production team.
Here I am talking about competitive first person shooters and I can't even hit the right button with my finger. I missed. Sad. I can't even blame it on the netcode. Is the Hell Let Loose
internal netcode
deal thing roadmap, and I might have Blue Talk. You know more about this than I do. I bet you do.
I mean, yes and no. I would definitely say I'm glad Hell Let Loose is coming out with some content. Some big, actual big updates because we have 3 new forces coming out. We have the British, the Finnish, and the Polish. So we'll have like the Finnish. So we'll have like the Winter War that happened in World War II, which is really cool. A couple new game modes, new maps, new tutorials for. I'm just reading off the Hell Let Loose thing right now. For new players, which is really cool. And then what's really cool is actually the non-verbal communication. So hand and arm signals coming into the game. Because they have VoIP where now if you talk in game, other enemies can hear you. So having non-verbal communication is going to be pretty interesting. And then Steam Deck version of the game. That's a big one. I could see myself playing this on the go. For sure.
I've never played this game, and when 2042 kind of shit the bed, I had a lot of people on my channel telling me to pick this up. I just had played so much Battlefield 5, the thought of putting a bunch more time in a World War II shooter, like I couldn't do it, man.
Right.
Like,
I would try it out again. I know July. Too. It's very different. It's not squad level, it's not Arma 3 level, but there is a team play working together part of the game for sure. But the one thing I was very tired of playing with Hell Let Loose was just the same game modes that every other game has, run, walk to this flag area, capture it, move on to the next one. Yeah, you might get pushed back, but then you just push back again. And it's just the same thing over and over again. Now they have a new one in July coming called Objective. And I'm really excited for that. I don't know exactly what it's about. But in my brain, what I wish it would be certain objectives that you need to complete in order to move on to the next one. So like take out this armored train car, place explosives here, blow it up, move it to the town, destroy the antenna for communications, and that maybe affects the enemy. I don't know, just little things like that. I just need, especially for World War II setting when there's so many good stories like that out there. Imagine like that. I'm thinking like old Medal of Honor games where like, you take out a submarine that's docked in the dockyard and stuff like that, and it's a U-boat and you take that out and you move over and destroy the headquarters and stuff like that. So like, or the artillery system or whatever it is. So just like things like that make the game immersive, replayable, because then different maps have different objectives. And then of course you already have all the other core game modes that are already part of the game. So lots of updates coming out. A lot of DLCs as well too. I don't know how people feel about that. There's free DLCs and premium DLCs. So I mean, hey, the developers and company Team 17 has to support the game still.
There's a lot of stuff on that roadmap. Like, so if you guys are interested in that game, check it out. But we always have to give shout outs on the program when developers keep supporting their game.
And they had a really good video as well too. That we'll talk about probably more next episode because it's a pretty long video.
I need to check that game out. I've watched some people play. I've watched some streams of it. It looks
that we should play together because World War 3 can hold off for now. Hell let loose. I feel like we need to get on together. I think us three specifically and get maybe some of our community members. I think that'd be really fun.
It looks like it, but I'm just.
And then we'll just all be communicating.
Yeah, I saw Big Fry made a video that at least the title of it sounded favorable on this roadmap, and it's full of stuff, man. There's a lot of stuff on here. Big updates in April, June, July, September, and December, and it's all mapped out. And you know what you're getting. Like, there's a lot of stuff, man. A lot of really good updates.
Yeah.
I hope they keep to the schedule though. That's another big thing.
Yeah, I hope they can too. It looks
just the fact that they're putting it out there, I think is huge. At least they're being transparent. You know, with a lot of these other games, you don't know what the heck you're getting. And then
if you have people on the fence with like learning a game like this, it looks like a fairly complicated game with kind of the strategy and like the commanding stuff and like the maps, and it looks fairly complicated and hardcore. If you're going to take the time to learn it, this shows you that the time you're putting into it could be worth it because there's going to be continued content. The game is alive enough to warrant this kind of updates. Like, you're not putting your time and effort into learning a game that's dead in 2 weeks, you know?
Yeah.
So it's really reassuring for communities to see stuff like this. Video game developers of all levels. It's really nice. We like it. Okay. So yeah, good stuff. Shout out.
Good stuff.
Is that anything else?
That was it.
I can't think of anything else.
We I think if we get into anything else, it would be another hour. So I think we should cut it while we're high on the table right now. You know, we're up high right now.
I think we did well. That was we were shooting for an hour and a half show. That's right where we're at. And yeah, I think we covered everything. We got through a lot of content, man. Holy, a lot of stories.
Very
good talking points. Always a pleasure hanging out with you guys and just shooting the shit with you guys.
Love it, man. I love it. Thanks to everybody that downloads it. Appreciate it. That number is continuing to climb. You might not after today, after we talked about a map you couldn't see for 20 minutes, but that's when it goes. Anything else? I don't think.
Nah.
I think we got it all.
Nailed it. All right, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out. Thank you for being flexible, hitting it up on the Tuesday. The VOD's just going to stay up. If you want to scrub back and check anything out in the topics list, you can do that on our channels. Thanks to Buff and Blue for taking the time to join me on the program. I love it. We'll see you guys next week. We'll probably have some more information to react to on the COD Season 3 roadmap. And anything else that comes up, there'll probably be a few tasty tidbits from the Tarkov episodes, and just any FPS news. We'll keep our eye out. We'll meet back here Monday night and talk about it with you guys. I can't wait.
6 days
to Fallujah. 6 days to episode 65.
Oh yeah.
All right, see you guys.
Later, guys.